You're listening to The Right Side of Politics with Greg O'Neill, bold, unfiltered, and unapologetically conservative. Every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, Greg exposes the harsh truths behind left-wing policies, from the crisis at our southern border to the soft-on-crime agendas harming our communities. If you're tired of the spin and ready for straight talk that puts American citizens first, you're in the right place. Here is your host, Greg O'Neill.
Good morning. How's everybody doing out there today? Well, we've got a lot to talk about, and we've got a lot of information that we want to take care of. It's been exposed that John Roberts, our Chief Justice, is part of the left movement and is trying to support all these leftist judges making these claims against Trump and shutting him down. We don't want that. We're never going to want that. So we're going to go ahead and get the truth out to everybody, and we're going to tell them we will not stand for it. First and foremost, let's talk about the tariffs that President Trump has instituted. He's got over 70 countries coming back to him, talking and wanting to reverse them. Well, that'll be good news if we can get down to 0-0 in free trade. But Trump is a smart man. He's a businessman. He's not running the government like a politician. He's running it like a business. And by doing so, he's going to make our country very, very rich. Now, let's talk about the southern border. For years, while Joe Biden was in office, he did nothing but allow over 20 million immigrants, illegal immigrants, into our country. Most are wanted criminals that were let out of prison in Venezuela and in Mexico. So what do we do with these people? We're being fought with these leftist judges on not transporting them out of the country. They want us to bring them back. What nonsense. What American patriot would want a criminal flown back into? They don't have any rights as far as I'm concerned, folks. They're here illegally and they're not a citizen. So shut them down. If President Trump and Pete Hegseth has got them on a plane going to Cuba or wherever, El Salvador, hey, those leftist judges have no right to shut us down. We will get rid of them and we will keep them out of our country. They are raping, pillaging, and murdering our young ladies and our children. And that's got to stop. I mean, that's infuriating. And I don't know why any American citizen, left, right, or indifferent, would like this or support it. But we've got Democratic politicians supporting these people. Cory Booker did a 25-hour information. I don't know that he said anything, but he talked for 25 hours. You've got Nancy Pelosi and her husband. I'm going to go off track just a little bit. Nancy Pelosi is one of the richest politicians, if not the most, in history of our country. Why? She gets insider information, gives it to her husband, and then her husband, Paul, goes out and buys the stock in the companies. Or if there are regulations coming down the way, they see this and they can buy stock that will be supported by the decisions that are coming before they even get here. Now, that to me is just so stupid. And let me ask another question. How did these politicians become so rich? Got to ask yourself that. I don't care, Democrat or Republican, but mostly Democrats. Nancy Pelosi is worth millions. And she was just a regular Joe when she got into politics with no money. So how are these politicians becoming rich? Let's find out. Let's do a forensic audit on everyone in Congress, left, right, and indifferent. I want to find out how they got their money, when they got their money, and if we're paying for it. If we're paying for it, they need to be arrested and locked up, thrown in prison, and throw away the key. They don't need to be here. They've taken our money for too long. They've not represented us properly, and they don't even want voter ID. How can you have a country if you don't have voter ID? This is a ridiculous stance, and they should be shut down. President Trump has always been America first. This is one of the best policies that has ever been set forth in our country. Americans work hard, they bust their rear ends, they go out, some live paycheck to paycheck. And yet we've got politicians working against the American taxpayer. This is not right, folks. I'm sorry. Anyone that supports these leftist judges and these Democratic politicians who are eating at the core of our Constitution and our rights need to be re-educated on who is doing the right thing for America. So in the future, I do have talking points, but I'll have more on my next show. But today, I want to talk about. Okay, let's go back to voter ID. We did a study on voter ID, and the study showed it did not depress minority voters. Everybody thinks that a minority voter doesn't have the intelligence nor the integrity of voting with voter ID. That's hogwash. They know they got a driver's license. If they've got a driver's license, they know what to do. All you have to do is tell them where to vote and get their voter ID, and that's set. So let's remember that voter ID is not something that is going to suppress minorities from voting, folks. It's too easy. Okay. Now let's talk about Donald Trump and these leftist judges. They actually tried to get him to turn around a flight that had an illegal immigrant who was accused of murder going to El Salvador. That's ridiculous. They said the plane was in international airspace. I don't care if it was in our airspace. That plane should not have turned around if ordered by these leftist judges. We pay their salary. They work for us. We don't work for them. So whatever they say and do, we got to get them out. And I guess that's why in the Supreme Court, instead of having them in there for life, we need to put a minimum term for them. Term limits would be great, just like we need term limits for the Congress and the Senate. Okay. We get politicians that are in there too long and they become reliant on their donors. They start doing favors for their donors. The donors don't start out like, well, they know what they're going to do. Politicians think it's just a nice gesture. And then all of a sudden, they give them a little bit more money for their campaigns, and they start asking for favors. And these politicians don't want to be run out of office, so they agree. Now, that's not right, folks. We should be the ones making the decisions for some of these politicians. Jasmine Crockett, I have to mention her. She supposedly is a lawyer. And have you heard her racist rhetoric? It is unspeakable. She doesn't have, if she's got a law degree, she wouldn't be saying half the things that she's saying. But I get, and you know what? I have to apologize because she was born here in St. Louis, but thank God she's in Dallas now. We've got enough on our hands with that crazy Cori Bush and her leftist policies. She's not in power anymore, but St. Louis is a very blue city, and the state is red, and I hope it remains red. Most of the voters in the Missouri state understand and know what going left would do to our rights, our ability to vote, and how they would stuff the ballot boxes. We need to prevent that from happening. So voter ID, for one, is another. Now, these ballot stuffers who they have been on TV and been identified need to go to prison. Some may have already been put in prison, but we need to make sure that all go to prison, and stuffing the ballot boxes are a thing of the past. Okay, let me catch my breath. Now, I'm very conservative, folks, and I'm not apologizing to anybody for it. I'm hoping that the people that watch my show have a chance to call in or type in and converse with me. Okay, I'd like a good conversation on policy. I don't want to hear anything that, oh, I don't like him, he's a liar, he's too orange, his hair's too long. I don't want to hear any of that stuff. Let's talk policy, folks. What policies has President Trump initiated that hurt you? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. I get so sick and tired of the left and the politicians out there lying through their eye teeth. Why did Cory Booker take 25 hours and say nothing? He just said nothing. They didn't show how many senators or congressmen were listening to him the full 25 hours. I would hope to say it's only the Democrats, but you never know. We've got some rhinos in Congress and in the Senate, and you would think they're more Democrats than they are Republicans. These have got to be rooted out and voted out of office. Now, I know some states that'll never happen because they're blue, like Colorado, California, and let's see, Illinois, New York. Those are the states that we need to turn red. And I think Upper New York has started that. Representative or Congresswoman Malliotakis says her part of the state is very red. But when you get down into the city and their votes, it's very, very blue. And it erases all of the red up in northern New York. Well, we've got to take care of that. And I think with Fox News and the podcasts that are going on, I think will be a great start in doing that. So if I guess if that's what my show will be about, and the next time I'm going to have much more to say. So until then, please be safe, go out and vote positive, vote conservative, and I will see you next time. This is Greg O'Neill signing off for the right side of politics. Bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountain. Thanks for tuning in to the right side of politics with Greg O'Neill. If today's episode fired you up, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with fellow patriots who are ready to stand up and fight for America. We air every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Until next time, stay informed, stay bold, and stay on the right side.